What's up? So today I am just going to be talking about housing costs kind of, which seems random because I've been giving thoughts basically on like cultural topics, but I just want to talk about housing today because I got to tell you, looking for apartments even in smaller states. It doesn't matter if you live in a big state or a small state, housing, no matter where you are, really, even if you're in a small town, is so expensive. So I was looking at a housing, like an apartment, right? And apartments, where I am, which I'm obviously not gonna name where I'm at or anything, but apartments where I am currently are like 900 a month. Now, if you make a really good income, 900 a month won't seem like much. Like that's nothing. But when you're, just fresh out of high school and looking for like a full-time job still and everything, it's not even possible to attain an apartment. It's like I'm moving to Texas, and then it's like from there I gotta look because, and this is crazy and surprising to me at least, but if you have, um, or not if you have, if you move to Texas, for some reason, it's cheaper to live. I don't know why. And that's what's crazy to me. And then it's like, and it's the whole thing. It's like it's this whole topic of Gen Z and millennials are lazy. And it's like, no, we're not. I mean, some of us are, yes, but no, we're not. Gen Z is not lazy. I would say the majority of us want to do work. We want to work and we want to work hard to make money. But the problem is that our money goes immediately out of our bank account. Like you can't save. You can, but it's not going to do you much good unless you save for 5, 10 years because that's how much it's going to cost for a down payment on a house if you want to own. Personally, me, I like apartments and trailers. It's just how I was raised. I was in and out of trailers. My whole backstory is crazy, and maybe I'll go over it at some point. But it's like this idea that we're lazy or that we don't want to work. It's like, no, we do want to work. A lot of us aren't lazy. We're just trying to get out of the work 80 hours a week mentality where you have to work like so much back to back to back with no breaks to the point where you're literally breaking your back and like doing all this extra work that you really shouldn't have to, that no other generation had to do in order just to like maintain life. Like sustaining and standing on your own 2 feet without any help is so incredibly difficult. If you even do basic math, from like the period where it's considered the best, according to older generations, employers who have been working for years, or owners of businesses, where they say like the 50s and the 80s, that time period between those years, that generation was the best. And it's like, yeah, for housing, yeah, it was. Because a house, you could buy a house back in the 50s for like $10,000. If you want to own a house now, it's like an average 500,000. Nobody can afford that unless they're a lawyer and they've been working for like 20 years. Like nobody can afford that, period. Apartments, especially if you get a nice apartment, you're paying at least 1,600 a month for rent. That's insanity. Like we're talking about an apartment, not a household. Not a house. We're talking about a place where you have neighbors, you're living in an HOA, you're probably in a big city just so that you can have more job opportunity. And it's like, these people, it's like you don't have an opportunity to get ahead unless you make your own money, you build your own business, you start YouTube, whatever, like what I'm doing, or I'm just telling people about what I want or what I want to do. It's like, this is my dream. I'm trying to chase my dream right now of just becoming a self-sustained YouTuber and eventually a rapper. But right now I'm just talking about stuff. But it's like, unless you do this, or unless you own a business or you start one or you create something, you invent something, which, by the way, if you can't really invent anything in the new world. Like, everything's already existing. But, like, if you do, I mean, you can't make inventing your job because everything's already invented. So even if you create something new, unless like 10 million people buy it and it's sold for like $10 whatever, you're not gonna make a ton of money. But like, I don't know. I mean, it's insane. It's insanity to me how like we have a culture in our economic system where they tell you graduate high school, go to college, get a good paying job, own a house, have a family. And it's like, okay, the go to college part makes sense for certain people, not everyone, but certain people, lawyers, doctors, surgeons, people like that. Makes sense for them. But then after that, you have to take into account, well, okay, now you say buy a house or you say get a full-time job, get a good paying job. Well, that's even hard to find with a college degree. Okay, let's say you get that good paying job. Boom, now you're working. Well, you got to save for a lot of years in order to buy. It's like all these things have to go together piece by piece in order for it to be successful. And the thing is, in modern day, it does not work the way that its intended purpose is supposed to go. Like they intend to make it easier to afford things if you go to college and get that good paying job, but it really doesn't. You go into debt, you have to pay that off. On top of that, a mortgage, if you can even find a good home. Most people rent though because it's impossible to find a good home. If you rent, it is going to be cheaper, which makes paying off your student loans easier, but you're still paying off your student loans for 20 years. It's like there's nothing you can do to get ahead in our current world where you have this society in America specifically, and I'm not calling for socialism or anything like that. Like, do your own research, obviously. And I'll make some videos on my thoughts on economics and politics and everything just because I have a lot of opinions that I'd like to put out, but it's just like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, that's it. Have a good one.